Okay, today we're going to be learning about dilations. So a dilation is when something is getting really big or getting small. So the dimensions are still proportional, but the shape is either growing or it's shrinking. So in our flip book, under dilations, I'm going to write grow big or get smaller. That's what dilation means. Okay, dilations are very, very simple. And so I'm going to show you an example right here, but there's not a lot of notes for dilations. So if this was my first shape, I have a right triangle. If I was dilating by the number 4, that means my shape would be getting 4 times as big. So my dilated shape might look something like this. The dotted line would be my dilated shape, and that's just an estimation. I didn't do that perfectly, but just so that you can see. The rule for dilation includes multiplying the dilation number by both the x and the y. So I'm going to write that over here. You multiply the dilation number by both the x and the y. So if something is being dilated by 2, you would write your rule like this. xy changes into, we take the dilation number of 2, we multiply it by both the x and the y. Okay, so when we are dilating by 2, something is getting twice as big, or 3 would be 3 times as big. So anything that you dilate by that's bigger than the number 1 will cause the shape to get bigger. Okay, sometimes you can also dilate by a number smaller than 1. So anywhere between 0 and 1, like 1/2 or 3/4. If the number is smaller than 1, then the shape is going to be getting smaller. All right, so let's do some examples. Here's your assignment, and I'm just going to do a few examples for you. So on number 1, it says we have a dilation of 1.5. So that means I'm going to take every coordinate and just multiply it by 1.5. So we have v prime, and we take those two coordinates, 0 and 0, and multiply it by 1.5. 0 times 1.5 is 0, and 0 times 1.5 is 0. Okay, don't forget, when you're writing the coordinates after the shape has been changed, you have to put the prime next to the letter. Okay, then u prime, we multiply 1.5 by -1, which is -1.5. And then we multiply 1.5 by 2, which is 3. Okay, then we're going to do t prime. So 1 times 1.5 is 1.5. And 2 times 1.5 is 3. S prime, 2 times 1.5 is 3. And -2 times 1.5 is -3. So really simple, just take the dilation number, multiply it by all the x's and all the y's. All right, so here we have a different type of problem, number 7. It says it's a dilation of 2. Okay, in order to multiply our x and our y's, first we have to find out what the coordinates are. So I'm going to write down the coordinates of my picture. D, looks like, is at -2, 2. Okay, so there's D, -2, 2. C is at -2, -1. E over here is at +2, 1. And F is going to be at -1, -2. So there's my original coordinates. Now I have to dilate it by 2, which means multiply everything by 2. So d prime is going to be at -2 times 2 is -4, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so D prime would be at 1, 2, 3, negative 4, positive 4. So there's my D prime. Okay, C prime then would be at negative 4, negative 2. E prime is going to be at 4, 2. And F prime would be at negative 2, negative 4. So there's my dilated shape. It is twice as large as the original. Okay, now remember I already showed you this on the notes page, but when you have to write a rule to describe the transformation, you just take x, y, changes into, and you have to see what it's being multiplied by. So how do we go from negative 5 to negative 2.5? How do we go from 4 to 2? They're all being multiplied by the same thing. And here you can see they're being multiplied by 1/2 or 0.5. So the rule would be 0.5x, 0.5y. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing on the graphs. Okay, we want to see, here's our first shape, just normal C, and that point is on 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4, negative 2. So C is on negative 4, negative 2. C prime, so the transformed shape, is on negative 2, negative 1. So how did we get from negative 4 to negative 2 and negative 2 to negative 1? Well, that's going to be the same rule as the one we just did. You're dividing by 2 or multiplying by 1/2 or 0.5. So the rule would be 0.5x, 0.5y.